All right, good morning. It's Roy here. It's actually a beautiful day today. It's 17 degrees outside, and you can see there's not a cloud in the sky. And we're going to try to get a little flight in today. I checked the winds per 4 flight. There's no winds to speak of until you get 12,000 feet, and I'm definitely not going that high up today. But everything is a sheet of ice out here. I'll show you. There's a little bit of snow on the ground right now, but it's not really helping. I've got my ice cleats on just so I can walk around out here. But the runway's still pretty clear. Here, you can see me a little bit better that way. Runway's still pretty clear. I got one airplane. It's the only one I've seen so far this morning. That's one thing cool about this airport is they do keep the runway cleared up. But let me show you the ground here. This is where I came in here, and that is solid ice. I tried to turn right down there, and I kind of kept going the wrong way. I'll show you. This is I don't know if you can see that. That's how I get around out here. It's on the bottom of my feet. These are just some help me get a little bit more traction when I'm walking around out here on the ice. I'm gonna check the plane here real quick. I'm sure it's got some frost. Yeah, I got a little frost on it. So we had some crazy weather recently. It was a few weeks ago it got down to -38 out here, and then the next week it snowed like 1.5 feet. You guys may have seen that video. And then the other day when I came home, it was 45 degrees on the way home from work. So a lot of that snow melted, and then that night it refroze. So now everything's a skating rink, and there's no snow forecasted for the next few days anyway. So I actually took the day off work, just hoping that I could get out for a little bit. So hopefully we can do that. I'm going to get the plane fueled up, and do a quick pre-flight on the old girl, and see if we can get out for a little bit today. Here's that plane coming in. There you got to see him. He's a little high. He may do a go around. Let's see. Yeah, that's the local flight school there. Blue River Aviation. So yeah, we're gonna get the old tri-pacer cleaned up here, or get her not cleaned up, but I'm gonna get her fueled up, get it checked out. I'm gonna try to knock some of that frost off of the wings, and maybe we can get out for a little bit today. That would be nice. So we can do that, and then I'll get back with you. There we go. All right, let's try and start it. Oh, girl. A little bit more fuel. There you go. All right, just one. Should have me. I'm gonna get some hangs real quick. Come back. This trying to get that GoPro set up, and we're going to charge and record at the same time. Yeah, everything's looking a little bit better today, I think. Let's get our weather real quick like. I know the weather here on the ground is winds are gone, like there's nothing moving. Oh, book check. Guess they'll say winds are calm. Boom. Yeah, sounds good. There's several planes outlined, so that's good. Plane started right up. I give her a little bit of fuel. Took a couple of shots, but that's alright. Oh, she deserves to take her time. So I'm gonna head over here, do a little run up, and see how everything checks out. Like, never got this thing filled up with fuel. I gotta take these ice cleats off too. Last thing I want to do is get these things caught up in my pedals. But yeah, I like never got it filled up with fuel or something. I don't know if it's my pump or my gas handle or what, but like every time I would open up the nozzle, the doggone thing would click off, so like it had like it was full, you know. They did that to me once before, and it was because of I had a little bit of ice built up there, and that may have had a ice crystal on it or something somewhere. But I looked, and it was neat. I gotta take it really slow. This doggone runway and taxiway is like a sheet. Well, not the runway, the taxiway is like a daggone sheet of ice. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to run the engine up all the way. That may start scooting down. So I got this new iPhone. Been wanting one for a while, but I had a Galaxy S23, and they finally came out with some kind of deal where they would buy you out of a contract or something. So I've been wanting an iPhone because I used the iPad for my 4 flight, and of course the iPhone's nice to have too for other purposes, because I'm using it to film with right now. That last video I filmed, I used iPad or tablet a little bit, and I like to never got that thing synced up. I'm using CapCut. I don't know, maybe some of you more experienced videos out there may have some advice for me on that. I just couldn't figure it out. I sit there for like an hour trying to sync that thing up, finding where everything's at. So this time I tried to start the cameras at pretty close to the same time. I don't suspect I'm going to be out a whole lot today, but we'll see. It is 11:11 right now. Samuel, my little boy, has got a doctor's appointment at 1. The wife told me I didn't have to be there, but you know, we'll see how things go. If it's cruddy once we get up, we may call it anyway and just go to the doctor's appointment. I got some the Merlin, my little experimental that I'm trying to refurbish. I got a few things I could be doing on that. I don't know if any of you guys out there has ever refurbished it, like an older plane or something that you found, but bro, it takes a while. I know the guy on Aviation Adventure Boys, he flies Challenger 2, and I have one as well. So I follow him and watch his videos quite a bit. And he just bought a Ridge Runner, which I want. And I'd like to have one of those. Another plane I'm really interested in is the Fisher 202 Coil. I had an opportunity to buy one of those a couple of years ago, or about a year ago, and man, I kicked myself in the rear end every
for not buying that little plane. Just fascinated by them. Thing is, they're not good planes for up here. Alright. Taking these cleats off. But yeah, the ultralights, man, which, you know, that one technically was not an ultralight. It had a 503 on it. And I've got a Challenger with a 503 and it's not an ultralight. But you've got to be very selective on the days that you fly them rascals up here. I'll get the checklist out. Probably get rid of most of this video when we get home. But yeah, you gotta be very selective with those things. But anyways, the whole point of the story was he bought a Ridge Runner that he's refurbishing, and he said he's gonna get it done within the year. I hope he does, but that has not been my experience. All right, so I'm gonna run this thing up. We got it full rich. I'm gonna try to get up to 2,000 RPMs without it sliding, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to. That's close enough. That's 1900. Let's check it right. Oh, we got a little stumble. Back. Yeah. Whoop. Back over to that right mag. I had a stumble. Better now. And lean it out. I'll recheck those mags again. I had to do that to me once before, and on Grant, and it turned out to be a, I think it's another boost plug or something. And sometimes this thing, it doesn't like to run rich. It runs rich on the ground, but it doesn't. Jesus Christ, it's done. You have to lean it right back. That's much better. Alright, and up back. Alright, I'm happy with that. Sucker out. She does not like that. I don't like it. I don't like her running rich. Alright, let's set a flat or trim to neutral. We got that set. Controls are good. Turning it up. Oh, jeez. Fuck. Let's say it. Wasilla traffic. Try Pacer 23 to some Papa. Loop short runway 4. Is there anybody in the pattern for Wasilla? Negative response for Wasilla 2327 Papa. Going to be departing runway 4. So. Alright, we're off the ground. Good. I don't see nobody. Hey. Wasilla traffic, 27 Papa turning left crosswind for 04 Wasilla. A little wind coming off that mountain, which I was kind of expecting that.
Wasilla area traffic for 2 Juliet Alphas over Tidewater Strip 2000 northwest bound. Wasilla.
Tell you what, one of the things, yeah, we won't even talk about it right now. I don't want to talk about the negatives. Alright, looking good, looking good. Feeling good. Try to get up a little altitude. I don't see anybody in front of me. I can see over there. This little, you can't see it right now, but there's some hills over here just right in front of the airport. And man, when you turn left or right or whichever way you go, it's almost always wind right there. And there's just nothing you can do about it. What I like to do, I get a little altitude because you can't see over the nose of this thing when you're climbing. I like to push it down just a little bit, get a good view of the mountain horizon. Make sure we're clear. I know you can't see it right now, but I can see Denali right over to my right. Man, is it pretty today? I'll try to get over that way. I don't know if we'll make it over there.
Wasilla area traffic courier 2 Juliet Alphas 5 southwest of the field 2300 northbound Wasilla. That's a brand new carrier? Negative, it's the old one. Thank you.
Little bumpy. Whoa. Get it. Stupid wheels. Turn that down. Try to get up to 3,000, 3,500. For a 4 flight, it wasn't that bad, but we'll see. Windy, the other app I use, said there was a little wind, and I'm starting to think that Windy's a little bit more accurate. Not bad right now, though. We're still climbing out. And rudder in. Like I said, there's always wind right here. Just slow her down. Down here. Look right there. 50 Hotel. You depart into the west. Wayne, do you have a block you're plugging on your plane?
No, I sent my diesel leader repair, so go to 140 out.
Okay, perfect. Well, you park a transient at Tuskegee. better than it was the other day, but it's still breathing. Put my 800 on there. Checking these instruments, everything's looking good. Don't think it's got a little more warm there. Don't get that warm this time of year. About 380. Summertime it runs about 385. Alright, so we're on the left tank, everything looks good. Still doing a small climb out. There. I hate that you can't see Denali like I can. Even on the GoPro, man, it just does not give that mountain justice. It's undescribable. It's like I'm probably 2-hour flight away from it right now, and it looks like it's right in front of me. But the closer you get to it, the more you realize how big that thing is. That mountain's over 20,000 feet high. You know, most airplanes they can't even fly that high, you know, unless you're in a commercial airliner or something. That's insane. You know, the ceiling for this plane is supposedly the ceiling on this plane is supposed to be 16,000 feet. I don't know that it actually do that, but you stop and think about this. 16,000 feet, this plane, that's the highest this plane can even feasibly fly, if it can do that. Like I said, I don't know that it would. And that that mountain's over 20,000 feet. So even if I did get this thing up to 6,000 feet, I'd still have to get another 4,000 feet just to get over that thing, and or just to get to the top of it. And I don't think, you know, that's insane to me to even think about that. So we're doing pretty good right now so far. Fuel's good, temps are good, oil pressure is good. We're still climbing. So I'm at 3,000 right now. It's starting to, knock on wood, starting to smooth out a little bit actually. It's the first decent day we've had in a while. You know, I went out the other day, but I didn't get to stay out very long. I may not get to stay out long today, but I've been locked up, seems like for over a month. It's been over longer than that, actually, because we had all those windstorms prior to the snow and the ice and stuff. That got pretty sketchy. Where are we at? Oh yeah, we got a tailwind right now. We're got a little bump. We're showing 110 airspeed and going 134 on the ground speed. We're getting some turbulence right here. Not too bad yet. Yeah, when I was looking at windy, it was showing there was areas of higher winds, which again, just to be expected around here. That's actually kind of a handy app because it shows you all that stuff. Somebody told me about it. There's so many different weather apps up there. Nobody knows which one to use. I don't. Let's see if we can get over there where the lane is at. I've been up there a minute. I think the Iditarod dog race is going on right now, and the property that I purchased out here is actually just a few miles, I think it's like 2 miles away from the first stop that they have, which is at the Yitna Roadhouse. That's Y-E-N-A. Little windy. So I think what I'm going to do, one of these videos, I've got, like I said, especially in the wintertime, I keep the stuff in here in the summertime too, but especially in the wintertime, I keep a survival kit up here, because I don't know if you can see or not, but we are, we're not that far away from Wasilla, but there is nothing out here. contract there to my right now, so if we get in trouble, we can go there. Of course, one thing I like about this area is we've always got somewhere to land. Like there's private airstrips everywhere out here. And anybody who's been up there, you know, this is like a mecca for pilots. And it's a way of life for folks too, you know, because a lot of people out here, this is the only way they can get their supplies and everything that they need to survive out here. A lot of people live off grid up here. And like I said, I actually live in town, so I've got all the conveniences of living in town. I think I see, no, those are, I think I see the dog sleds, but that's not a dog sled, those are snow machines down there. But anyways, yeah, I live in town, so I've got all the conveniences of living in town. I got electricity, and I got a well. It's crazy that everybody in, even if you live in town, you still got a well. And but yeah, it's just not far outside of town. You have everybody's off grid, and there's a lot of people out here that live off grid. There's a lot of folks out here. They're very sparsely populated areas, but when you're up here and you're looking around, you see little cabins here and there, little communities. So like I'm getting a little wind over here, which is what Windutopia would experience. I want to go over there and kind of check it, see what the river and the lake looks like. Slow it down here. Oh, it is a wind. Let's turn this land over that way. See if we can make it over there. Bounced around a little bit. This thing's good for about 15 or 20 mile an hour crosswind. I'll tell you what. Anything beyond that, I don't like riding it. It's not fun. If I get down closer to the ground here. Whew! Yeah, that's pretty. Slide down here a little bit. Get a little lower. Lower down. Okay, it's windy right here. Lots of little wind gusts. Hoping it'll be a little calmer down towards the ground here. It'll be down here. So these bigger planes out here, like the 180, 185, even the 172 is better. Just the weather's just so crazy, man. Really, it's scary. And this, I've been in some like the 172s and stuff, and they seem like they handle. They still, you know, you feel it, you still feel it, but this thing here, whoosh, it can be sketchy sometimes. But right now, it's sketchy. I'm at where am I at? 79, I believe. Not a whole lot better. But I'm getting crosswind right now. This kind of sucks. No dog sleds yet. They may have already made this stop and headed out. I don't know. I'll have to check it when I get home and see. well, 1,200 feet. Overflow on the rivers there. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but yeah, the weather, we had like 2 feet of snow. You guys probably seen the video where I was plowing snow. And so yeah, we had like 2 feet of snow on the ground. And then came home from work one day, and it was 45 freaking degrees. I'm like, bruh, how the hell does this work? So a lot of the snow melted, and then it refroze like the next day, which made all of the roads are like a doggone skate rink. And anyways, yeah, we're in the middle of January and it was 45 degrees. I'm like, holy crap. And then just a few weeks before that, it was negative 38. So I don't know where that was coming from. Some of my more progressive friends and stuff would say global warming. It could be. I'm not necessarily a global warming denier. I believe there is warming stuff going on, but I really don't believe it's man-made. I think it's just part of the natural shifts in the earth and stuff. I mean, I was reading the other day, they're saying that the magnetic north is moving and stuff, and I know that's got to affect a lot of things. And I think it's just the way of the world. I mean, people, there's been shifts in the environment and stuff ever since, you know, known to man. I mean, with the ice ages and stuff like that. That's been, you know, everybody's like, oh, the polar ice caps are melting and blah, blah. They've been melting. They've been melting ever since the ice age. And then, well, it's doing it faster now. And I'm like, okay, well, to me, that's not a big concern, because I think it's just a progression. I mean, I believe if that's not what the Earth is supposed to be doing, it will reset it. It's pretty notorious for doing this kind of thing. And I'm no scholar, obviously. I'm no environmental scientist, believe it or not. Monitor 1229, it's kind of that area. Yeah, we're kind of holding at 1,200 feet right here. A little smoother, it seems like. Land's over here to the left. I like flying low, you know, but to me, it just doesn't leave a whole lot of options open, you know. And I don't like that. I like having options. And everybody knows about these planes. They kind of sink like a brick, everybody says. And they do have a fast sink rate, but it's just at 1,000 feet, man. You lose your motor, like, you better be thinking on your toes. Probably not even going to be thinking you're going to be crapping your van, what you're going to be doing. I hope to God you make the right decisions. Alright, so I'm going to make this left turn. Property's over here. It's actually behind us a little bit, which is okay. Kind of meant to do that. Trying to get an idea where we're at here. It's actually really nice right here. Very smooth so far. Nice and slow. So yeah, I got that little Challenger too. That was actually the first airplane I ever bought when I was getting my license, because you know, I live off of a firefighter salary. So I wanted to fly. I was wanting to fly so bad, and I was trying to find something I could afford at the time, because I've been paying for doggone flight school. And up here it was almost $250 an hour to rent an airplane, and I wanted to be able to fly. So I found an old man had a Challenger too, and I've been looking at them online. And man, those are just really cool little airplanes. So I found one and I bought it, and I fixed it up. And when I got my license, I flew that rascal. Probably shouldn't have, but I did it. actually enjoyed it. It's really fun to fly. Maybe someday I'll get the courage up to tell you about something that happened to me, because I feel stupid now looking back at what I did. But like I said, I don't want to tell you right now because you'll think I'm stupid, and that's kind of okay too. But piss poor decision making, I guess. My enthusiasm got the best of me, and I could have killed myself, but it didn't. I felt like a little Asian guy on Hangover, you know, where he's like, "Did you die?" Yeah, no, I did. I'm lucky I didn't, but I did. You were there. There's so many in the winter, especially in the wintertime. There's so many little places out here that look similar. I've got it marked on my map where this place is, and I just have a hard time practicing sometimes. So I just get out here and circle around looking at stuff. I don't see nobody out here anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of overflow. I don't do any ski flying yet, but everybody up here ski flies, you know. So if you don't know what overflow is, it's basically, you know, if you got an area, this is my understanding, you got an area that's frozen like a river or something, sometimes you'll get water that comes up over the ice, and they refer to that as overflow, and that can be dangerous when you're flying on skis. But anyways, there's quite a bit of it. Ooh, the sun is bright. It says I keep flying over the maybe right here. Isn't that crazy? I want a piece of land out there. You don't even know where that looks like. I have never actually landed here. I just purchased this place a few months ago. I haven't even officially signed. I've signed the contract, but I haven't signed the ownership contract on it yet. And so officially, I don't own it yet, but I will. They told me when I bought the place that, you know, it'd probably be mid-January, February before I got a contract. We're mid-January right now, so I kind of expected to see something any day. That's it right here. I got the property off to my left here. It looks different in the wintertime. I wish somebody out there would clean off that lake. I'm trying to land out there. I don't even know if it's long enough, honestly. It's supposed to be 2,000 foot long, which this thing does not take that much runway to sit down. And, but yeah, it's 2,000. The lake's over 2,000. It's like 2,300 feet long, but I've never landed on any of these lakes out here, so, and this thing's got doggone just general aviation tires, the 600 tires, that's what's on it. Not really made for doing that. And that's what I mean when I want to I would like to turn this into a tail dragger. Not that it's going to get me off the ground any quicker, but it will make it a little bit more useful to be able to get out and go to some of these more remote areas, which I can get to them now, but I don't have the experience to, I guess, land on them. And the plane is just not set up for it. Now, gravel runways, I go to them pretty regular. I know them. One of my favorites up here, and my instructor actually took me there when I was learning to fly. That was, because you got to do off-field landings or whatever. And that was where he took me to, was a little gravel runway called Squint Nest, little community up here, village, I guess you call it. Everything's off grid. And but anyways, ever since I went out there, I love to go out there because it's so peaceful. You almost never see people out there. I mean, you can see their houses and stuff, but most of the time there's just not a whole lot of people. So I'm cruising right now. We're 1,200 feet. Only pushing 2,200 RPM. And 105, going 90 on my ground speed. Back over here, I'll go look at this place. Whee! I love a nice smooth. Get a whole lot of it. There we go. There's a guy. Got a runway out here next to this place. It's more of a super good type runway. Definitely not a tri-pacer type runway. Yeah, there's a lot of overflow on warm weather we had. There's a lot of overflow. Stays there, I think, constantly, because there's almost looks like they've been shoveling out areas down there. I don't know. Nice and smooth right now. Really. Yeah, that little Challenger, I can, it cruises about 85, you know, 75, 85, depending on the weather. Good calm day, I can get around, probably average about 80. But, I love to get in that thing. I went one day, probably my favorite flights I ever took. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. I got in the Challenger, and I flew to the Glacier, which is almost unheard of to be able to fly something like that out there around the Glacier. And so it was a perfect day. And I was literally, nobody was out there. There was a boat going up and down the water out there, but the river. And I was flying about 50 to 100 feet off the ground. Man, is it smooth. So smooth, so slow, and just we were I was just out there enjoying myself, man. That was probably my favorite flight ever, and I only flew for like 2 hours. It was just so smooth, man, so relaxing. I just kind of just waved the airplane back and forth around, just followed the river. What do they call it? We used to do it in the military in helicopters, Namdur or whatever. And it's kind of what I was doing, but there weren't no hills or nothing. I was following the river. A lot of these guys up here, they do that with their Super Cubs. But to me, I don't know, man. I'm fascinated by planes like that. The sun's right in my face. In the wintertime up here, the sun doesn't get much too far above the horizon here where we're at. So during midday, like, it'll blind you when you're heading in that direction. That's kind of what it's doing there, man. Nice when you got it to your back. Alright, I'm gonna make one more pass. 900 feet here. Here we go. I don't know if there's anybody. There's a little cabin down there at the end of the water. I don't know if there's anybody there or not. Lined up with it again. There it is. Going here, it's like we're going to approach here. See what we can do. Put in any flaps. Just want to do going 500 feet. Definitely getting a little closer to the treetops, that's for sure. I definitely wouldn't have the cojones to set this thing down right here. Not right now. I don't know what the conditions of this lake is. And it's a small lake. I have to hit it just right. I think. Be a hard approach in this plane for me anyway. Right here in the treetops. Yeah, that's nosy. No altitude. That was fun. think what I want to do is the Challenger. I know we'll get in and out of there. I can be off the ground a couple hundred feet on that thing. And then I also got my Merlin, that little experimental that I'm trying to refurbish. And I know, I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to get in and out of there too. I'll probably, I don't know, we're going to see what happens. I recently took a job, accepted a job, I should say, at Fort Knox, Kentucky. I've only got a year and a half left until I retire, and I'm wanting to get home, spend some time with my father. But we're have no plans of leaving Alaska permanently. Me and the wife were discussing it. I think out of all the places I've lived in my life, this is probably the place that I most feel at home. And everybody, how do you put up with the winter? And the winters are long, don't get me wrong. They're very long. And it's good to be able to get away from here in the wintertime sometimes. Last year we went to Hawaii for a couple weeks, which was really nice. That was a great time, and it just, it's good for you to get out and get a little sunlight. And I'd really like to, this property here, I'd like to be able to put myself a cabin out there. And, even if we decide to sell the house, which right now is not the plan, but even if we do that, I'm going to keep this property out here. I'd like to build a cabin, and that'll always give us somewhere to come back to, And that's something that she and I really look forward to, because this really is kind of my happy place. I've never been somewhere that I was this satisfied with where I was. So much to do, but at the same time there's so little sometimes as well. You almost feel like you live on an island, because it's a long way back to the lower 48, and we're kind of up here by ourselves. We're connected to Canada, and like I said, you feel a little isolated sometimes. But at the same time, I kind of like being isolated a little bit. I don't, even if we were to move back to the lower 48, I have no desire to live in the city. I do like here where we're at, because I'm really close to an airstrip. I live like 2 miles away from the Nashville Airport, and so I'm really close to the airport. It's a nice community. We're 5 minutes away from town, and nobody bothers you where we're at. Like, it's everybody kind of like us. They kind of they enjoy their peace. They don't mess with you. I've got my neighbors, and they're good people. Don't get me wrong. But I've been here 4 years, and there's the guy on the left of my house, my neighbor to the left. I've spoken to him one time since we lived there. And the only reason I spoke to him then is because the little Merlin that I bought, the little experimental, was in my front yard. And come to find out, he has a plane as well, and he had to come see it. And so he did, and we talked, and haven't spoken to him since. I kind of should, though, because he owns Triton. We just haven't talked, but I haven't spoken to him since. I know he's gone a lot. They do something in the church. Sorry, I keep putting my hand out. I can't see. And but yeah, they do a lot of church stuff. I know they have a lot of church meetings at their home. I don't know what denomination it is. super good dude though. But you know, I'm sure he probably enjoys his peace and quiet, and that's okay. I respect that. Not a lot of people up here are like that. Nothing but respect to them. What time is it? It's 12. Let's see here. Yeah, get a little bit. Time is it? It's 12 o'clock. May head back. Want to understand the weather's actually supposed to be nice for the next few days. I got today and the next 2 days off, so I can get back. I may not be able to make it to the appointment, or I might be able to FaceTime my wife and be there electronically. Maybe try to work out. Try to climb up a little bit. I don't know how bad the wind is. Mine's good. Got a lot of them already starting to feel some bumps right here. Hang out here a little bit. And let's head back over toward Willow a little. Some of you pilots, the older pilots out there probably watching this and like, you're kind of a wuss, you know, but the thing is, like, this plane, and I know you can't tell it on the camera, it gets sketchy in this damn thing sometimes. My wife almost refuses to fly with me because we came home one day, it was midday from Homer, and there was some rain showers and stuff. And it got bad. And like I said, the wind, this little plane that catches this plane, it throws it all over the place. And there's times like, man, I came home from McGrath one time, which is on the other side of the mountain range, about a 3-hour flight. And I white-knuckled that son of a gun all the way to the house. There was times where I was getting downdrafts. I was falling 700-800 feet a minute. And then the next second I'd be climbing 1,500 feet a minute, and I was just all over the place. And the thing was, there was nowhere to sit down. There was no airports. That'll make you pucker up a little bit. As much as I love this plane, I tell you what, if up here, eventually I will have something different. It's just, I don't know, man. This thing can scare the shit out of me sometimes. Part of that is me. My decision-making abilities, lack of experience. Sometimes I'll put myself in a situation that I may not need to be in. Staying pretty low right now, man. About 1,400 feet. Seems to be a little calmer on the ground. Just poking around. I'm at 2,100, about 2,100 RPMs. Still doing 110. And so somehow I had a tail wheel going out there and a tail wheel coming back. Not sure how that works. But doing 118 ground speed. I'm getting past this mountain over here to my right. Now I'm starting to feel the winds coming off the coast and some anchorage over there. It'll toss me a little bit. I'm still on my left tank. Been about an hour I've been running on that tank. Back on the switch. That's about my switch point. Now we're on the right tank. I was reading some forums one time, you know, because, again, new pilot learning to plane and stuff. And, you know, and the POH on this thing it always says, you know, make sure you're on the right or on the proper tank. But I don't recall it telling us what the proper tank was. I just know that you're not supposed to come in on the right tank if you have less than a third of a tank. But anyways, I was reading the forum one day, and one guy's like, what I do, he said, always start out, because you got around 2 hours per tank if you lean it out right, 18 gallons each. So he said what I do is I'll fly an hour, hour and a half on the left tank, and then he'll switch over to the right. He'll fly the right tank until he's empty, and then he knows he's still got another hour on the left. So and that way he always comes in on the left tank, because if you're a third of a tank or less on right, you're only supposed to use it for which made perfect sense to me. So that's what I do now. Whoa, there we go. Nice, good focus. Yeah, there. The wind does that. Yep. It's bumpy right there. Yep, getting shitty again. Hear it out there too. Lower down. Slow. Feels like that's coming from Anchorage too, off the coast down there. Definitely. Well, I don't know. Everybody's coming in on 4, which means that's cool. God, mighty damn. That air is coming off the mountain down there. Ooh. Look. Somebody will be next to me. Oh, them rudders, boy. Over now. Oh, shit. Dang, it's getting rough. Whoa! I don't know what it's like up there, but it sucks right here, I know that. See if I can get back up. I don't know if that's going to help me or not. Woo! Head back up that way. Yeah. Big, 1,200 feet. Downdraft. That's getting rough. Good Lord. I'm going to try to just go straight in for 4. Maybe that'll, I have to fight them crosswinds coming in. Come back. Where are we? Getting close to that to see Big Lake. Oh, damn. That's what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're getting into out here. It wasn't like this when we left. At least we got the airplane exercise. Big lake in sight. Still a little too much further off. Got to get there. Give me a little workout. Head out by the big lake. Big Lake area traffic, Tri-Pacer 2327 Papa is over to VOR, Big Lake, 1200 feet and northeastbound Big Lake. Winds are calm down on the ground, it says, and probably is. It's not calm back there. There's still a lot of people out flying. It may smooth out over here. And like I said, windy, the app I was looking at, it showed back over that way. It gets a little sketchy. And sure enough, it was. I mean, you know, it's pretty accurate, I guess. ForeFlight doesn't really pinpoint the wind areas like Windy does. Windy gives you a more precise location for your wind. The ForeFlight will just tell you, 3,000 feet. I think it said we had like 2 or 3 mile an hour winds, 3,000 feet. So that's what I was aiming for. And it was right at the airport. 3,000 feet was 2 miles an hour. And but what it doesn't take into account is
traffic carrier 9, correction, Skyhawk 968.
You're not always over an airport.
Runway 4, Westilla.
Whoa. More bumps. You're done. That's all. My thing is, I love flying. I really, really love flying. I don't like flying like this. It's not fun. Not fun. That's why I think my next plane is probably, if I can find one in good enough shape, probably going to be like a 182. I've also been looking at the Comanches. Those seem like really good bargains for what you're getting. So if anybody got any information on a Comanche, let me know. I know there's one down in Daytona, Florida. I was looking at $69,000, brand new motor, cruise. I think they said you can get up to 180 mile an hour.
Traffic, Sky 5 uniform, 4,000 feet, coming up over Shirley Lake, and report procedure, heading over Willow.
And to me, that seems like a really good price, man.
Traffic, Skyhawk 9, 683 Quebec, right days from
But that's more of a high altitude, I think, more of a cross country airplane, which I do want something. I want like a good all around plane. Something I can use for everything.
Okay, so we're about a mile, probably about a mile to the west now. 4,000, we're going to need 3 spiral land. They will be looking for you here. You think you're going to use 3-1? That's what we'll set up for. Yeah, we got you guys inside. We'll fly for 3-1.
That's rough. Dang.
Man, it was all we'll keep in touch.
Still a lot of wind gusts out here right now. So we're getting close to that.
9683 Quebec, short mile, runway 445.
This area here, I mean, we're in this big ass valley, aren't you? It's not very often you get a smooth flight up here, and that kind of sucks. Really. At least in this plane, I don't ever get a smooth flight. Or when it's smooth, it's real smooth, and it's nice. God dang, days like today, I hate that. At least we got to get out. I guess that's a plus. It was great going out there. Kind of sketchy. I got Big Lake Airport right to my right. We're not too far away from Wasilla, just a few more miles. About 10, 15 miles. Mighty dog. Right.
Coming overhead right now, right 3-1 go.
See where we're at. Big Lake Area Traffic 27 Papa is flying over the field, 1,000 feet, and eastbound Big Lake. See nobody out here right now. There's probably a reason for that. There's people still flying. Just seen like 2 or 3 planes go past to my left. Big Lake, I don't see anything on the
We are 5 miles to the east, 45, so we're right downwind entry to 04, Wasilla.
Hear him out. That was a tri-station. I like tri-stations. I need to go, in fact, I might call Mr. Don Lee today. I don't know if y'all know who Don Lee is, but he used to own Alaska Floats and Skis, which was up here. Very well-known business. And recently retired, but he only used Pipers, Piper Tri-Pacers and Pacers engines.
Ryan, well alongside of you. Can I get an update on your position, please?
Base file 3-1, stand by Mike.
Okay, keep an eye out for you here. We're about 3,000 overhead. Got another turn to do.
Got the airport side over here. I want to make a left turn.
On the go, runway 4.
Traffic, Tri-Pacer 2327 Papa is about a 5-mile final for 04. I'm looking for that other traffic, that other Tri-Pacer out there. You got a location for me?
Full traffic, Sky Class uniforms 1,900 over the field, emergency landing practice, Willow. Let's go with traffic, Tri-Pacer 007. I am entering the right downwind for 04, only number 3.
Wasilla traffic, 27 Papa copies. I'll just swing out and get in the pattern with everybody else there so we don't mess up. So bad right here. It's pretty smooth. That's why everybody's out here. I don't know why I'm not seeing traffic on here. It does that sometimes. For flight, shit together. We are VFR though, so we need to be looking out the window all the time, right?
Full traffic,
12:30. I'm gonna get back on the ground. We'll do FaceTime for that doctor's appointment that day.
Full traffic, Cardinal 44, you're trying holding short runway 4.
I think that other tri-pacer, I'll see something else on him. That other tri-pacer that's landing, if it's the one I think it is, he's actually based out of Palmer. And the little plane is actually for sale. It's got the 135 horse engine, I think. 290 or whatever it is. And I think he's 35, 39, I don't know what it is. But it's a fairly new airplane. New engine-wise. Got a damn near new engine in it. But I've always heard people say to stay away from those because this lack of power.
Western traffic, tri-pacer 0 Delta, structure Hawaii Bay, runway 041.
Coming in pretty close.
Yeah, Noise Sky High, gonna go. Well, I'll be heading to the southwest, southeast.
Traffic, 10 short final. Western traffic, tri-pacer 0 Delta, turn in final.
Turn this thing off and turn it back on. If it'll reset, I'm not picking up any traffic. Don't see nobody.
Taking traffic 72 Sierra November over south of Big Lake Field or 6,400 eastbound.
Follow traffic, Skyhawk, 5 uniform, turning right downwind and departing the area. 3-1, Willow.
Got a little bit of wind here, but it's, man, it's a hell of a lot better than it was. Let's go. And then the fog layer out there. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I've been to a lot of places. I think this is the prettiest place I've ever seen. And I think in the summertime, it's 10 times prettier. It's crazy. Still not picking up traffic.
Western traffic, Cardinal 424, you're Charlie, taking off runway 4. Have that traffic on final side. Push your traffic.
I've never flown a Cardinal, but I think there's beautiful, beautiful airplanes, and I've thought about buying one of those things. I really like to have one, but people are getting proud of those damn things. I had an opportunity that somebody sold one up here recently that had an engine that had like 200 hours on it. The plane wasn't the prettiest plane in the world, but it was actually in good shape. Just needed to be cleaned up a little bit. And lady sold it for $53,000. I'm like, oh my God. And at the time, I would have bought it, but I wasn't in a position to buy it at the time. I'm like, holy crap, man. I'd give anything if I could have got my hands on that plane. Sure would like to have it, but, you know, everything in good time. So yeah, we got a good headwind right here. So I'm showing 82 ground speed, 0.10. Yeah, that's 130 headwind. We'll feel that one there. But ground, on the ground, I've got some smoke coming up from a fire down there. One straight up.
Western traffic, tri-pacer 0 Delta, down clear, runway 4. traffic, Skyhawk 9683, Quebec, departing runway 4, right downwind, depart to the southwest.
Now one taking off, he's gonna hit the downwind. I'll try to give him some space, I think. I'll come in. Let him get out of the way. Of course, I can't see him. So traffic, Tri-Pacer 27 Papa is over Jackfish, northbound. I'm going to be turning here in a few minutes to join the downwind for 04. I'll wait for that traffic that's taking off in Wasilla.
Traffic 50, I'll be up 5 on runway 4.
Visual, I don't know if it's the right dude though. Turn here in just a minute.
Below area traffic, Sky Class uniform to the south of Candy Lake, heading southbound, and we're maneuvering up from 1200 to 1700.
I'll make this left turn here. Catch a cross, probably. Nice and even. Still ain't got nobody on my daggone monitor. I don't know why this thing does that. It's not playing, it's the doggone. I got a little Sentry up here. Most of the time it's great, and it is good for AHRs and positioning and all that stuff, mapping. Sometimes it don't show me my traffic. I don't know why. I've got it turned on. Wasilla traffic, Tri-Pacer 2327 Papa's over to Glen. I'm joining the downwind for 04 Wasilla.
So traffic, Skyhawk 9683, Quebec, right downwind, departing the area to the southwest, final call through.
Okay, looking for that Skyhawk. I don't see you, Wasilla.
We're already far out, no factor.
Wasilla traffic, 27 Papa, right downwind 04. Speed up a little bit. Yep, I see that guy over there. He just took off. Woo! Little puppy.
So traffic center material, the crosswind extending out for traffic on downwind.
Blowing her down here. See if I can get in there.
Sky Class uniform, just north of Houston, heading down to 1,000 feet for ground reference maneuver.
Texas traffic, red helicopter 3 miles to the east and bound for landing Jackfish.
So